The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Dilini Gunawardena and read by Tilani Pires. The headlines. The President stresses the need of transitioning from traditional plantation industries to new agricultural businesses. The Circular on Education Administration reforms will be issued soon. The U.S. assures support to implement anti-corruption legislation and macroeconomic reforms. Plans are underway to allow renewable power wheeling in the island. And on foreign news, the MSF ceases services at Rafah Hospital amid Israeli attacks. Sports basketball, preparations are underway for the South Asian Under-18 basketball battle. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe outlined his commitment to propel the nation's economic progress by spearheading a shift from the traditional plantation industries to a burgeoning agricultural enterprise. He emphasized the imminent removal of bureaucratic barriers through new legislation and the implementation of advanced managerial practices in the plantation sector. Addressing the inauguration of the Athuragiriya National Institute of Plantation Management's new academic and administrative complex, this morning, President Wickremesinghe highlighted the institute's pivotal role in equipping graduates with contemporary skills essential for the plantation industry's modernization. The facility boasting research laboratories, lecture halls, computer labs and career counseling centers will also feature a center harnessing AI and GIS technologies. The construction of this state-of-the-art facility amounting to 750 million rupees signifies a substantial investment in the nation's agricultural education infrastructure. President Wickremesinghe during the unveiling ceremony and subsequent opening commemorated the occasion by leaving a personalized note in the guest book. President Wickremesinghe further underscored the imperative of agricultural development in alleviating rural poverty, envisioning a regional agricultural landscape capable of catering to the burgeoning middle class in neighbouring nations. The Education Minister Dr. Susir Premajantha said that arrangements are in place to establish 1,220 school clusters across the country and 350 school boards are to be formed to oversee their operations under the initial phase of the educational administration's reforms. Dr. Premajantha emphasized that the necessary cabinet memorandum outlining these reforms will be imminently presented with the accompanying circular set to be issued in the near future. Building upon the concept of school clusters, school authorities will now have the authority to allocate students from Year 1 to Year 11 to the leading schools within their respective clusters for advanced level education. Moreover, interviews have been conducted to fill teaching vacancies in chemistry, physics, biology, mathematics and technology streams and foreign languages. Out of 7,000 candidates interviewed, over 3,000 have been appointed based on subject expertise. Following the training, these appointees will be deployed to schools by 1st of June, significantly alleviating the shortage of teachers in science and technology subjects. Additionally, efforts are underway to address issues related to provincial teacher appointments which have been suspended by court orders. The minister made these remarks today during a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre under the theme of Collective Path to a Stable Country. Foreign Secretary Aruni Vijayawardena has met with U.S. Assistant Secretary for South and Central Asian Affairs Donald Lu and discussed avenues to further consolidate Sri Lanka-U.S. bilateral relations. During the meeting held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Secretary Vijayawardena apprised Assistant Secretary Lu of the recent developments in the economic front as well as the export-oriented open market growth enhancement strategies and initiatives taken by Sri Lanka. Issuing a statement in this regard, the Minister of Foreign Affairs said that she elaborated on the measures taken by the government to improve governance, rule of law, financial oversight, as well as to combat corruption and foster reconciliation. Foreign Secretary Vijayawardena also discussed the robust security cooperation between the two countries, including in the maritime sphere to effectively handle maritime safety and security as well as safeguard maritime trade. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that Sri Lanka will allow consumers to build renewable power plants and use the Ceylon Electricity Board transmission network to carry it to a different location to be utilized. So-called wheeling was not allowed in Sri Lanka, and a company that built a power plant had to sell the power to the Ceylon Electricity Board at the feed-in price and buy power separately as a customer at a retail tariff. Wheeling allows customers to carry the power from the new renewable plant by paying a fee to the transmission network. The non-academic staff of state universities have decided to withdraw from the essential services of the university system, including water and electricity services, from today. The strike action launched by the Joint Committee of University Trade Unions continued for the 13th consecutive day today, citing wage issues. Although the proposals concerning the monthly allowance and wage disparities of university non-academic staff was tabled during the cabinet meeting, which was held on Monday, the granting of approval for the proposals were further delayed since it has been decided to seek approval from the Ministry of Finance for the matters outlined in the proposal. Accordingly, the relevant proposal is expected to be resubmitted to the Cabinet following approval from the Ministry of Finance. That ends the local news for now.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior. A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The Minister Jeevan Thondaman said that President Ranil Wickremesinghe will head to Bali, Indonesia next week to attend the World Water Forum. The 10th World Water Forum will take place from the 18th to the 14th of May and is hosted by the Government of Indonesia. The President is also expected to do bilateral discussions with his Indonesian counterpart, while Minister Jeevan Thondaman will take part in a panel discussion organized by the World Bank Group. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
And on Watchlight tonight, patients have been highly inconvenienced due to the health strike launched by health professionals in all government hospitals at provincial level. The strike, which commenced on May 9th, targeting 7 provinces, has crippled the healthcare services at the respective hospitals. Today, the strike was launched in the Sabaragama province from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Co-convener of the Health Trade Union Alliance, Ravi Kumudesh, warned that if solutions are not provided to their grievances, they will engage in an indefinite strike across the island after May 21st. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on with world news and the headlines first. The MSF ceases services at Rafah Hospital amid Israeli attacks. Antony Blinken tells President Zelensky US aid is on its way. Cannes Film Festival commences with the second act. The Doctors Without Borders, known by its French acronym MSF, says in a statement that it has been forced to stop providing healthcare at Rafah Indonesian Field Hospital as of Sunday. The statement continues to say that a pattern of systematic attacks against medical facilities and civilian infrastructure has been observed since the beginning of the war. In light of this, it has made the decision to leave Rafah Indonesian Field Hospital. It added that 22 patients who remained at the hospital have been referred to other facilities, and MSF can no longer guarantee their safety. In a separate ex-post, the organization said that its personnel have been forced to leave 12 health structures and have endured 26 violent attacks since the beginning of Israel's war on Gaza. The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken informed President Vladimir Zelensky that military aid is now on its way during a surprise visit to Kyiv. The top U.S. diplomat told the Ukrainian president the weapons will make a real difference against the ongoing Russian aggression on the battlefield. The American-funded weapons now arriving at the front line include air defense, interceptors, artillery and long-range precision-guided missiles. The world's most popular film festival opens on Tuesday with a French comedy, The Second Act, by prolific film director and musician Quentin Dupex. It is among 58 films of the official selection in the next 12 days, which are likely to set the agenda of the global cinema industry for the year to come. 22 films will be competing for the Real Palme d'Or examined by a jury led by Barbie director Greta Gerwig and 8 film personalities. Meryl Streep is set to receive an honorary Palme d'Or highest prize awarded at the event, while Star Wars creator George S. Lucas will be celebrated on closing night. Back to the world news headlines. The MSF ceases services at Rafah Hospital amid Israeli attacks. Antony Blinken tells President Zelensky US aid is on its way. Cannes Film Festival commences with the second act. That ends world news.
Development news.
The State Minister for Investment Promotion, Dilu Mamunagama, said a duty-free shopping complex by China Duty Free in the Colombo port city is expected to get the go-ahead in June. If the approval is received before June 14th, operations will begin on that date. Several businesses have already started through the Colombo port city, pending the construction of its buildings under its regulations. That came to you in development news. Moving on with sports news. Basketball news tonight. Preparations are underway to host the South Asian Under-18 men's basketball tournament in Colombo from the 8th to the 13th of July. The selection trials for the tournament will take place at the Sugadadasa Indoor Stadium from the 17th to the 19th of May. Teams from Maldives, India and Bangladesh have already confirmed their participation in this event. The winners and the runners-up of this tournament will secure qualification for the FIBA Under-18 Asia Cup scheduled to be held in Amman, Jordan from the 2nd to the 9th of September. Last year, hosting the Under-16 category, India emerged victorious while Sri Lanka clinched the runners-up position. That was sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Lipton Tea's Infusions has agreed terms of a partnership which will result in the transfer of its tea estates in Kenya, Rwanda and Tanzania to Browns, alongside an agreement that all tea sold by Browns worldwide will be grown and harvested to a new set of standards. By this agreement, both companies will raise tea quality globally and accelerate the application of responsible farming methods in the industry. That was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
And on economic news, the Minister Mahinda Amaravira suggested that arrangements should be made to give a souvenir of Sri Lankan tea at the airport to every foreign tourist coming to Sri Lanka upon their return. Accordingly, with the aim of popularizing the name of Ceylon tea in the world, every tourist coming to this country will be given a souvenir containing Sri Lankan tea products. That came to you in economic news.
Weather report.
Due to a low-level atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of the island, showery condition is expected to be enhanced during the next few days. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in most provinces of the island after 1 p.m. Heavy showers more than 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, eastern, southern and Uva provinces. Showers may occur in the eastern and southern provinces during the morning hours. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts during the morning hours. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The President stresses the need of transitioning from traditional plantation industries to new agricultural businesses. The Circular on Education Administration reforms will be issued soon. The US assures support to implement anti-corruption legislation and macroeconomic reforms. Plans are underway to allow renewable power wheeling in the island. And on international news, the MSF ceases services at Rafah Hospital amid Israeli attacks. And on sports basketball, preparations are underway for the South Asian Under-18 basketball battle. That ends this news broadcast, and now it's back to Chandima Virakone, as always, on a Tuesday night. Back to you, Chandima.
Thank you very much, Tilani. That was Tilani Perez bringing you the night bulletin of news. Precisely 9 p.m. is the time, and you and I know the drill. It's going to be the family choice from now on up till 10 p.m., at which time we bring down the curtains on today's programs. But before that, we have a long way to go. So call me on 269-4316. That's the hotline. 269-4316 is the number for you to get in touch with me. Forward your requests and dedications for tonight's program without delay.